Personal leadership ability is the major limit on what you can achieve, and that's your ability to take charge. It is basically your ability to accept complete responsibility for yourself and your whole life. If you can do that with no excuses and you know exactly what you want to accomplish, you immediately move to the top. My point is that we continue to grow and rise amongst human beings to the degree to which we work on ourselves, and working on yourselves means seeing yourself as in charge of your own life and having a very clear goal or purpose, and then working toward that on a continuous base that moves you up. It makes you a better person, a happier person, a more productive person. It gives you more energy, it strengthens your immune system, it releases endorphins in your brain, so you're happier and more creative by the very fact of taking charge of your life and working towards something that's important to you. You become a leader by deciding to become a leader, so we say that leadership is the most important factor for business success. When the team is losing, they don't fire the team members, they bring in a new coach or a new general manager. Leadership is the ability to get results in people. Say, well, be a leader and lead and so on and so forth, but leadership to me is can be distilled to a single concept: the ability to get results. If you can get the results that are expected of you in your position, you're a leader, and leaders emerge when people need other people to get results. 3 leaders have a clear vision of the future. They know where they're going. They have a clear major goal for themselves and or for their business. Leaders have the courage to take action with no guarantee of success. This is one of the most important of all success principles, is that there's never any guarantee that you'll be successful. As a matter of fact, there's a very high likelihood that you will fail at least the first few times. Not the greatest successes have been the greatest failures over and over again. You know the famous story by Thomas Edison when he had conducted 5,000 experiments seeking for the proper filament for an electric light bulb. They sent a reporter out to his factory in New Jersey from New York, and they said, "Mr. Edison, why do you persist after 5,000 failures in this oddball idea? Everybody knows human beings are meant to light their way through life with kerosene lanterns and candles." And he said, "You don't understand." He said, "I have not failed at all. I have merely identified 5,000 ways that will not work, which puts me 5,000 ways closer to the way that will work. It's just a matter of time." And he had a basic rule. He said, "Once I have decided to invent something, I will not stop until I am successful." And so he kept sending people back to the drawing board, so over and over again. I will not stop until I'm successful. So therefore, whenever you try something, everybody here has failed countless times. It's just realizes you've just identified at that time one more way that will not work, and so that puts you one step closer to the way that will end. Going back to that concept of 3 feet from gold, each time you dig a new hole, you could be getting just a little bit closer, and maybe all you got is dirt when you dug that hole, but you could be just a little bit closer to hitting the motherboard. So responsibilities of leadership: 1 is to set and achieve business goals, and also to set and achieve personal goals. Number 2 is to market and innovate, to continually seek faster, better, cheaper, easier ways to create and keep customers. This is the primary responsibility of a business, is to create and keep pressures. Number 3 is to set priorities and work on key tasks, and these are really important. To have clear goals continuously, innovate on the weight of the goals, and set priority. Remember, choosing what to do more of and what to do less of determines the entire course of your life. Number 4 is to focus and concentrate, where superior results are possible. Solve problems and make decisions. Interestingly enough, the only thing that stands between you and I and our goals are problems, obstacles, hindrances, things that hold things that hold us back, and so the ability to solve problems is the key to success. And how do you solve problems? As you focus on solutions. It's one of the most amazing darn things if you ask what successful people think about most of the time. They think about their goals, and they think about solutions to the obstacles that hold them back. And so, whenever you have a problem, for the rest of your life, the way that you neutralize the negativity involved in a problem as you may say, all right, what's the solution, instead of focusing on the problem and who did it and who's to blame. Focus on the solution and the actions that you can take immediately. Come intensely solution-oriented. It's the characteristic of leaders. Leadership is the ability to solve problems. Success is the ability to solve problems. The only thing between you and anything you want is a problem or an obstacle. Just lead by example. This is one of the great characteristics of leaders, is that leaders always realize that everyone's looking at them, and so they carry themselves as though if everyone behaved like me, then this would be a better world. This goes back to the great philosophers, and here's the question: what kind of a business would my business be if everybody in it was just like me? And that is a great question. What kind of a family would my family be if everyone in it was just like me? What kind of a country would my country be if everybody in it was just like me? Expression explains this, but it's the great question from Immanuel Kant, which is what you use to judge every behavior. If more people did what I'm doing, would this be a better world? Would this be a better company, better family, better relationship? And if you ask this question, you'll find that most of the things that are socially accepted are socially disastrous, because if everybody went on welfare and everybody rioted and everybody took food stamps and everybody stayed on employment for 2 or 3 years, and if everybody lived off the government, what kind of society would we have? And the answer is unsustainable. Which would be unsustainable? This is a great job you perform and get results. So this brings us to our exercise, and what I want you to do here is answer questions regard revolve. Leadership is action, not position. Leadership is not a title, it's what you do physically. When you act like a leader, you become one. So when you take the behaviors, take the actions of a leader, you become a leader at that moment. All leadership skills are learnable with practice, so please answer these questions. What are your 3 most important business goals right now? It's a bit of a repetition, but write them down, because they may even have changed since earlier this morning. What are 3 ways that you could market your products and services faster, better, cheaper? What are your 3 top priorities for yourself in your business or your financial life right now? In what areas should you focus and concentrate your time and resources? Remember, you can only do one thing at a time. If you can only do one thing, 2 things, or 3 things, what should they be? What are the 3 biggest problems or obstacles you are facing right now? And 6, what is the simplest way to solve each of the problems? And number 5, I have to tell you something that's really important. It's about what is called Occam's razor. Occam's razor is a principle developed by William of Ockham in 1242 in England. He's a philosopher, and what he basically said, kind of springboarding off of Socrates, as Socrates said that the correct solution to any problem is usually the simplest solution. And so, therefore, instead of looking for complicated solutions, look for simple solutions. Avacum did, he said the correct solution to any problem is usually the ones that has the fewest number of steps, which is again the simplest solution. So, therefore, you always look for something that's very simple before you look at for something that's complicated. And sometimes just do something different. Somebody just stop doing what you're doing. Something, it's time it stop. Start more or less, stop, start more or less. So look for a simple solution rather than a complex solution. Could you take immediately to take advantage of These opportunities, what 3 behaviors of yours are most important in setting a good example to others? They're watching it under the corner of. They're either watching to see if you are 7 a standard for us, so if you want other people to be functional, we must be punctual. If you want other people to work on their top priorities, you must work on your top priorities. If you want other people to treat each other well and be friendly and be respectful, then you must be friendly and respectful. You set the tone for your whole business, and in many studies they say that being a role model is the most important job of your past. If you have children, what I discovered when I had my first children was that you're your model that will have more of an influence, finding development of their character at any reason you can. Talk all day long, but they just watch it. And they watch you, and they model themselves at an unconscious level on your behavior. So if you want your children to turn out well, you could role model for them. And the final requirement for leadership is to the ability to perform and get results. So the greatest question readers is always what results are expected of you. What results are expected of me, not activities, but what are the results, and of all the results that are expected of you, one of the most important results